Factoring review. Steps for factoring a trinomial. Step 1, take out a common factor from all terms if possible. Step 2, find two numbers that multiply to get the last term and add to give the middle term. Step 3, write two sets of brackets. We'll put an x at the front of each of them. Behind the x in each of them, we're going to insert number and sign from step 2. One number goes in each. So when we factor trinomials with no visible coefficient in front of them, that would be with the coefficient of 1 in front of our x squared, we are looking for two numbers that multiply to give us 6, and it's a positive 6, and add to give us positive 5. If you know what those numbers are off the top of your head, great. If not, you can list the factors of 6. So the factors of 6 would be 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. So we're looking at which of these combinations can we do to add to give us 5. So that would be the 2 and the 3 both being positive. Once we figured out those two numbers, we're going to write two sets of brackets. We'll put x at the front of each of the two sets of brackets, and then we will put one of each of these numbers with their sign after. And it doesn't matter which order you put them in. So I went with the 2 first and then the 3. You could have put the 3 first and then the 2. There is our factored form of the equation. When we don't have a 1 in front of our x squared, we're going to look to see if we can take out a common factor. And looking at this one, we can divide everybody by 2. So we're going to put 2 at the front, draw ourselves a bracket, and then put what is left when we divide these guys by 2 inside. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, x squared. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5x. And negative 28 divided by 2 is negative 14. We now have an x squared term that has a coefficient of 1. So we can now go and look for two numbers that multiply to give us negative 14 and add to give us negative 5. Again, if you know what those numbers are, you can go straight to them. If you're not sure, you can list the factors of 14. Factors of 14 are 1 times 14 and 2 times 7. In order to get a negative when we multiply, we need to have one of these as positive and one as negative, whether it's in this combination or in this combination. So looking at this, 1 plus negative 14 gets me negative 13. That's not going to work. Negative 1 plus 14 gets me 13. That's not going to work. So this one doesn't look like it's going to work. Positive 2 minus 7 gets me negative 5. So it looks like that's going to be positive. That's going to be negative. There are two numbers in our signs. Now we have this 2 out front. The 2 is going to stay out front. We are then going to draw our two sets of brackets. We will put our x at the front of each of them and put one of these in each. So plus 2 in one and negative 7 in the other. Recall that it doesn't matter which order I put these two numbers in. So I went with the 2 first and then the 7. You could have put negative 7 and then positive 2.